Hello, ladies and gentlemen. How are you today?
Very well, yourself, sir.
Very good. I have an interesting, maybe discussion piece for you today.
Awesome. What's it about?
What do you guys think about how video game designers should be maybe changing the ways that they proceed with game development to target more maybe disabled people, such as people with either physical impairments or maybe mental disabilities?
We've been talking a lot lately. I mean, we've touched on the whole, there's games for depression, there's games for all sorts of different problems lately, but...
Right. This could touch on a couple of different subjects, though. I mean, we could be talking about presenting disabilities empathetically.
Mm-hmm.
There's empathy games.
We could be talking about putting a person in a wheelchair in a zombie apocalypse and having them try to control their character that way.
Right, but that's empathetically, right? Putting the people in the shoes of a person with a disability. But it could also be approached from the way of, I'm a person with a disability, let's say, for example, I'm quadriplegic. Mm-hmm. I can't play with a video game controller.
Right.
But I want to play your games.
Changing the interface so that it conforms to people that couldn't use it in a regular sense.
So making your game more, accessible to people with disabilities.
Well, they've done that actually in some area where they've had people control objects with brainwaves.
Yes, the emotive epoch.
There you go. Thank you.
You've seen that TED Talk, I see.
I have, yes. It was very interesting, though.
It's fantastic.
So, I mean, it's obviously it's very early technology. It's not mastered.
It's already got quite a couple of years behind it now, though. At this point,
but nowhere to the point where you're literally going to be controlling a game character.
Sure.
To that level.
Yeah.
Is this new?
No.
Welcome to the Matrix.
Almost.
No. If you want me to put it into practice,
yeah.
For you, currently with the technology that's available,
mm-hmm.
you can use an EEG scanner, which is a brainwave scanner that scans patterns in thought or motion or movement to send commands to a computer, which you can then translate into a game command.
Didn't we used to have a game like that as kids where we put the thing around our heads and try to make the ball float up and stuff and try to get it through a hoop?
Is that a thing?
Isn't that with straws?
I thought it was with straws. It was using with the air, and then in the air would push the ball
the
up.
Montreal Science Center.
Oh, probably. I wouldn't be surprised if it was.
Stuff.
I've never been there.
Science, bitch!
I have, of course. I went for their video game.
I was so worried. I thought I might have to take you out on a play date. Take you out to the science center. Strap the thing around your head and see if everything's working properly.
You might want to do that anyway, though.
Yeah, that's right. I got a little screws loose.
But basically, the way that this works is your brain is essentially, it's an electronic device.
Well, it's a computer.
It's an electronic computer,
yeah.
right? It's got a series of neurons that send messages through each other.
Yeah.
In a way where they send it through the form of electrical impulses.
Right.
So what this thing does is it reads the patterns of the impulses. So if you, for example, are in a calm state and you're not doing anything, your brain has electrical impulses happening because your body is working, your heart is beating and stuff like that. So it's kind of your idle state, right?
Yeah.
But then let's say you blink your right eye. You just set a signal off in your brain where your brain set off a signal to have you blink your right eye. Mm-hmm. And right now they've done so that people who are completely quadriplegic can actually control, to the point where they can even control their wheelchair with their eye winks and head bobs or things like that, right? And they've done it in such a way where you can actually control a character in game in the same way.
I'm just looking at Amanda blink on nonstop.
I zoned out.
I thought she was trying to control something in this room at this point.
She's turn.
I was wondering why the spoon wasn't bending, but then I remembered I wasn't holding the spoon and the spoon doesn't exist.
That's so Matrix. But my point before was, in terms of the technology, we're not for one-to-one. In terms of you think it happens, and it happens exactly how you think it.
You're gonna think you're all gonna think I'm crazy, but I was actually trying to work out an algorithm that could do that with technology that's available now.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
but it's a theory. I could write up a paper on it, but then it would have to be put into practice by people
Well,
who
if
have.
we've got the VR thing set down, we can definitely like.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, right? And now with VR, is you can be at a point where I was basically going to make Sword Art Online,
Right.
where you don't need controllers.
And he would be the one to put that
Just to
you
clarify,
die.
you can leave the game.
Oh yeah.
You can leave the game, just take equipment off, and you're good. Like, it's not gonna fry your brain or anything.
Not plugged into your nervous system.
Yeah, no.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, no, but like the idea was basically using training. You need to train your brain to do each of these commands, obviously, right? So it'd be like walk forward. You would have to think walk forward, and thinking walk forward, saying like in your head walk forward.
It's not easy.
Sends off a specific impulse.
Well, if you want to know how hard.
Backwards.
No, but you know that action to think something. Think of it this way. People that have, let's say, no arm or legs,
Yeah.
that have prosthetic equipment attached to them
Sure.
that work on nerve impulse.
Sure.
You have to literally think of moving your hand
Yes.
to reaction it, and it's not something that comes naturally, right?
Exactly.
It's-
You have to train yourself.
You have to train yourself to do it.
And it's the same concept. It's using those exact same impulses to control an avatar in a game.
Well, Snape seemed to have gotten used to it very quickly, within the span of a few hours, apparently.
Yeah, Snake is just like. You're like, all right, cool.
You got it.
You do you, buddy.
That's right.
But yeah, I mean, I feel like this is something that could eventually go somewhere really cool, and it would be really awesome to see more games come out that.
Even for non-disabled people, to play a game like that is actually very interesting. Think of playing
Yeah.
a
I
strategic
would be
game.
so frustrated if I was playing a disabled character, and it would make me connect on an empathetic level a lot more.
Yeah.
If ever I was like in a zombie apocalypse
Oh,
in a
yeah.
wheelchair and I had to go upstairs,
I think they don't do it.
I'd probably get really frustrated.
Empathy
and run around a bunch
games.
of times.
But it's a hard market to sell because you're well.
It's becoming more and more popular.
Especially like with the visibility that we're giving people
Now,
that
yes.
for so long been
But
categorized as
give it
an
10
other,
years
they're now
ago.
being
Oh no, 10 years
We're not
ago.
10 years ago, no.
we can't even 5 years ago. Like we can't 5 years.
Hey guys, thank you so much for watching our videos. If you want to see other videos by TMS, please click on the links on the right over here. Also, if you like this cap and other swag from TMS, you can actually check out the description down below for Manson's clothes. If you like free games, you should actually check out Gamers Giveaway, which is a great website. What they do is they give out free games every week, so I highly recommend you check those guys out as well. Alright, so that's all for today guys. I hope you enjoyed our videos. Enjoy the rest of your day, and thank you so much for watching TMS.